Hey reseller friends, it's Yvonne. It has been a long time since I made a video for YouTube, and I'm on the panel of the Reseller Stew Show on Deb's channel, Pinching Pesos, but we've been a little sporadic. A lot of the members are moms, a couple are full-time, so it's not always easy to get together with our schedules. So I thought maybe I'll go ahead and talk about my solds for the first quarter of 2018. Now I'm a little late, so I can't go all the way back to January. And there were some good things in there to talk about, but whatever. Can't go back that far. So let me put these on, and let's see, I'm already up Mile High Scene, and let's just go to items for sale. That's what I have going on now. Let's drop down to sold listings. Okay. And I just sold that just now. So I do buy it now, best offer on almost everything. So you can always knock a few bucks off of everything, because that's kind of how I operate mostly. So let's get on down and start with February the 1st. So we can't do January, not in this format anyways. So February the 1st, and if you're new to hanging out with me, most of my reseller friends are fully aware I go by Yvonne Flipping Easy on Instagram, on YouTube, most social media, Twitter, my real name on Facebook, of course, Yvonne Robinson. And I do this part-time, so to speak. I like to have fun with it. I have other sources of income, and I just really like to have fun with it. So I'm not a high volume seller. I do throw in some bread and butter, sometimes under $20 bread and butter, things that I know are going to go fast, because an active store is very good, right? And mostly though I look for more unique items, and I try to keep it at a certain price range, like at least over $40. But that's not always doable. I do most of my sourcing from thrift stores, estate sales. Anyways, I really have fun with it. So if you like hanging out and chatting with someone who is more in a more relaxed way running the business, but yet very professional, my customer service is good. I try to keep up on everything for eBay, what's coming out, the new rules, new ideas. I watch a lot of other resellers in the community. I interact with a lot of other people, to stay on top of things. I've gotten a lot of useful, good, helpful, useful information from you all. Thank you for that. I love the interaction. So anyways, we'll just chat about kind of the way I roll on eBay, okay? Let's see. So Peruvian connection, alpaca stuff, most of us know that. This was a good flip, full price. Johnny Was has a lot of different labels, and they have some other divisions too. Like I just got a pair of Pete and Greta. Let me pull them real quick. Let's see if this will show. I've got my other webcam since I'm so close up. This is actually another division of Johnny Was. And really, like, these are a pale yellow. Like that's kind of an acquired taste color, right? But I do always look at cargo pants and for athletic and athleisure. And so these just felt good, and with all the details. And then of course you can't miss that. So that's another division of Johnny Was. So these cargo pants that don't look like they're that much special are actually going to go for a little more money than your average cargo pants. Probably $30 to $40 is what I'm guessing on these. So that's another division of Johnny Was. And sorry, I'm not really doing like a full blown out bolo list video. But if you Google Johnny Was and read about it, you can see the other labels, the other divisions, okay? Because that's really good to know, because again, they might not look super special, but they are going to bring a little bit more money. You can just quality, you can tell quality by the tags. Harley Davidson's still doing fairly well. A lot of t-shirts have come down in price. There's a lot of competition for that now, and a lot of quick flippers with the lower prices. But that's okay. If it's in really good condition, you know, so hold out a little bit if you want to. You could try for a week with a little bit higher sell-through price on it. And especially if it has more epic graphics and it's from someplace unique, you always kind of want to, well, I do, put where it's from in the title, because some people are going by location, not just the graphics. They're looking for certain locations, certain dealerships in parts of the world. Yeah, I did say world because I've sold some from other countries. You guys know my boyfriend is Harley, my fiance. Thank you. August the 11th. Yeah. So anyways, he's Harley, and so he has a huge collection of Harley shirts, and some of them are from other countries that he just adores. And I've sold some from other countries. So this was a hoodie that went pretty well. Sometimes I do a little bit better price range, thank you, on Harley stuff if it's like a plus size, especially in the women's. Okay, anyways, hey, I'm not going to edit this, so you're going to get the fumbles and everything, okay? It's just us talking, and I'm not going to edit this. This, I always do the athletic department, of course. I'm looking for Lorna Jane and Stella McCartney and Lululemon, the higher end things. This is one that's in there, and it brings a little bit better price. I think I would let those go for 32, I think. Gymshark. It's a little boutique-y label, but it's with the gym rats, so to speak. Some of them really like that, and it's quality made. Hannah actually found these True Religion sweatpants. Those went for about 50 or 52. They were sweatpants, larger size. Lululemon, of course, there was a good sale. I loved those because they were extra long for tall girls. I'm a tall girl. I think I actually got these off of ThredUp and flipped them. So those, I did pay up for those a little bit because I was hoping they would fit me, but they were too big. So I think I paid with all my discounts and my Retail Me Not coupon code about $40, but still that's good money, and it didn't take very long. So another Harley Davidson. Dance goes. Always flex your dance goes. Check the soles the best you can. Prices are coming down on some of them. This was a sandal, so not the like clog or anything, but that's a decent enough price, right? Nick and Nora, this wasn't great. This took forever. I think I let it go for about 18. I'm kind of over the Nick and Nora unless it's something that's really trending or they're super clean. A whimsical pattern that's really trending. Citron Santa Monica, we all know about that. This was a cool one. This was reversible. This was really pretty. I want to say, gosh, it's been so long. Sorry. Knock some off of that, okay, but not too much. You don't really have to for your Citron. I've sold Citron Santa Monica that I've repaired that wasn't even in great condition. Hey, honey, if you come in all the way, you're going to be on camera. I'm just letting you know. Glad you guys are back. I'll be done in about half an hour. Hi, baby. Hi, Highway. That was Steve and Highway coming back from a hike. This you don't find a whole lot of, but when you do, this is a higher end Western wear. Really soft leather. Lone Pine. There's a little handful of them on sale on eBay. Reminds me of kind of like Scully and some of the other higher end Western brands. Sears and Roebuck snap shirt. Wasn't as great as I thought. Lululemon, the prices are coming down on Lululemon on some of the basics, okay? We can still make great money on some of the more unique sizes and some of the epic patterns of limited runs. But just your generic basic pieces, the prices are coming down a little bit, so I don't think we should be paying too much, but it's usually a pretty quick flip, right? Michael Simon sweaters, they're the whimsical decorated sweaters. This one wasn't anything too epic, and there were a lot of them on there. Some of them a lot cheaper. I just kind of held out because mine was in great condition. I got off all the pills. The white was still nice and clean. So I held out for a little bit more. But when you get something that's like really a good theme, more elaborate than that, it's probably more $40 to $60 range. So you want to watch out for those. A little bit more than like Quacker Factory for sure. Let's see. Leela Rose. This is a UK popular brand, if I remember correctly. Kind of like a party dress or a bridesmaid dress. Not... It would be a stretch to say pin-up or rockabilly, but if they were more conservative, you could say that. You could say that. I don't think I chose to in this one. I just went by the name. I think I did that one at about 68. And I worried if it was bridesmaid that it would be returned, but it was a solid sale. Never heard a word except that she loved it. Eileen Fisher's getting a little iffy too, as most of us know, so we have to be a little more careful with it. This was a decent size, large, and this was the organic linen. Some people are really purist about the fabrics that and the textiles that they'll wear. So organic is kind of a thing. So whenever I see like organic textiles or hemp, things like that, I usually pick those up. Celtic Irish sweater. This wasn't a great name, but it had that Nordic look and that Celtic look that usually does well. So that was about a moderate price range for that. It wasn't like, you know, one of the more epic labels, but still good. Let's look at it. Wait a minute, let me open this up. I might have to move me so we can hide the customer. Oh, don't look at that. Okay. Let's look at it. Had, oh, you know what? I did this in a haul video and several of you helped me remember what these clasps were called. Let me pull a picture up. Those. They have several names. Chinese knot. I think I called it frog loop is one of the names that it's called. This was a wool and silk blend. Yeah, I think that's why I chose that. It had a lot of good features, and I'm sure it was just a thrift store find. That was kind of pretty. It didn't have the metal clasp like we kind of think of with the Nordic sweaters, so I kind of marketed this more Celtic. It was made in Ireland, I believe. Okay, let's go back. Okay, put me back down here. Okay, where were we? Michael Kors. I was so excited. I found this at the Woodland Park Goodwill and up the mountain. The one where Karin from Prof Sales was just here and we met, and that's where we met at. Oops. So it was $14.99. It wasn't, the tags weren't attached, but it was in such good shape. Maybe a little dust, a chewing gum wrapper, but it was still super clean inside. And the tags were inside in a little pocket. So that's why I sold it as pre-owned, but I showed it with all the tags. I showed how clean it was on the inside. So that went really well. That was a fair price for me and for them. So I did pay up for that. When I say pay up, you know, thrift store, we pay up $15. But look, that was a good sale, right? Dear Creatures is a good, I don't do a lot of Anthropologie anymore. Really super picky, but this is one of them that's good. Dear Creatures. So I think I did 38, took a best offer of 38 on that one. Dear Creatures. And I went and found the name, of course. You want to always try to do that. That will help you sell it quicker. I've had that forever. I just thought it was funny. I finally let it go. I'm like, okay, let's just do this. But I got good feedback on it. I guess it was a gift for their IT guy or something at some company, and she said, you know, he loved it. Robert Graham. Again, we got to be a little pickier depending on how much profit you want from something on our Robert Graham shirts. This was a great one. This was kind of unique. Let's go look at this one. I've never seen one like this with the Vespa girl on it. Okay, y'all don't look at that. Okay, so look at this. It had this little embroidered, whoops, where'd we go? Come back to us. There it is. Do it like this. Okay, there we go. So it was like a 2X. That's great. And it had this embroidery on the collar for the label and on the flip cuffs. So I got some offers that were kind of more in a low ball, like 30 to 40, and I kind of held out. I know your average Robert Graham shirt is kind of dropped down to that price range, but I kind of held out because this one was so unique. Excuse me just 1 minute, the wind's blowing. I want to shut this. Woohoo! Okay, so that was good. So I am kind of getting a little pickier about that kind of stuff. Again, I'm not a high volume. I don't want to hire help. I'm not a real high volume seller. So I'm a little pickier when I go. Okay, St. John, we all know that's good. Santana knit. This was a nice little blazer. It wasn't lined, so a little bit lower price. St. John collection. There's different hierarchies within the label. You definitely, if you're watching this and you're new, you definitely want to look up about St. John. Please do not confuse it with St. John Bay, okay? Look up St. John and learn the different levels of labels. I think over in Reseller Revival Facebook group, where I kind of just drop off information whenever I'm in the mood, I think I put a file over there with some links and some pictures of different labels. I think I talked about that. Bionic, a comfort sandal, think like Dansko, Allegria, that kind of stuff. Nice comfort sandal, so that's why it brought a little more. This was a new to me label, a little bit legging look, sort of artsy. It went super fast. I was excited to learn about this label. Not a lot for sale, but the sell-through rate does really well. So you might want to, because like when I saw those, the fabric didn't look anything too epic, but I realized the artsy, I realized the shape of it. I'm like, let me check this out. So I think they were about $4 or $5, and they went pretty fast. So that is definitely on, filed in my head now for that kind of thing. More Lululemon, tall. Those were still a little too big for me, but those I think I got at the thrift store. Or I did online arbitrage is what I did on this is what I did on those. Someone had those because they were long length. They assumed they were men's, but they are not. So she had them listed in the men's section on eBay, but they're not. So the men weren't really that interested in them. And so I got them for a really good deal. They were still a little big, so I just sold them, but I got good flip on that. Exclusively Misuk, still doing okay. This was just a basic set, just basic pants and tank top shell, but and a little worn too, so that's why I just was honest about it, to see the wear on it, but still a lot of life left in it, and so I let that go at that price. But that was I still made plenty of money. Hawaiian shirts. This isn't a great name like Rain Spooner or anything like that, or Dragonfly, but it had a good, Hannah found this, it had good graphics on it, so I just waited patiently against the people who were selling them, my opinion, too cheap. Waited patiently, and finally it was down to mine if they wanted that graphic. So a few bucks into 26. There's a nice Scully, not leather, just canvas and whatnot. I talked about this in a haul video. But I like to sell the reenactment, the historical stuff, the Old West. Again, reenactment people will buy this, as well as Western people, ranch. I even threw in Wasteland for that crew. Holy Clothing. This is like a Hot Topic or a Pyramid Collection kind of vibe. And the price really, for this one, a little bit lower probably, but I held out because it was a 3X. So that's what happened there, and it didn't take long. Why did I buy this one? That's an okay men's label. Nothing to get too excited about, but it didn't cost very much, probably $3 or $4, and I think it was made of European yarn, merino wool. I liked that shawl collar, that kind of fisherman's crossover shawl collar, and a lot of men like that, and it's not, you can't just find it anywhere. Not all sweaters are made like that, have that option. So that's probably why I did that. I think this was made in Ireland. It had woolen market, good size, embroidery. I think that went for about $28. Versace tie. I sold these together to the same person pretty quick. Brioni silk tie and Versace silk tie. I was new with this. I know Brioni is a great label for men's. But the tie prices were kind of like from super cheap to expensive. I just didn't know where it fell. just kind of met in the middle on that to see what happened. And maybe it could have went for a little more. I'm not sure. On both of these, that had the Medusa logo, that head there. So anyway, someone came in and bought both of them, so it was fine. I think I paid like $1.99 or something for those, so it's fine. Frontier Classics, again, the Old West historical reenactment. These are repops. I always buy these in Wallmaker. I think I talked about that on Instagram. WAH Maker. They do these Frontier repop pants. They're probably going to be button, no zipper. They're going to be kind of high-waisted. They're going to have this back tab, a lot of them. But those always sell through fairly well. Seriously. I got this on a mother-daughter road trip with Hannah. I think I paid like $1 or $2 for it. So take some off of that price. That went really well. This is a Ralph Lauren. This is their golf line. I threw in tactical because it could also go for that. Okay, so I'm just trying to hit some different genres or demographics to get a sale. Is why I threw that in there. I just thought this was cute, kind of retro. This label's okay. You're not going to find a lot of it. Not super high end, but this was a good piece. I think this went overseas. It was faux fur. Denim and Supply Ralph Lauren. This wasn't the most epic. It was pretty kind of faded, but some of that was probably intentional factory. But it still sold for a good price. And then, of course, hanging in the thrift store, it just looked like a nothing denim shirt, so it didn't cost very much at all. But if you can remember Denim and Supply, you know, it's a Ralph Lauren division. Some of them are really going to bring great money. This brand was sold through Pyramid Collection. It was new in tags. This person loved this. She said, oh my gosh, I have loved this since I saw it in the catalog. And so, take a little off. I think it was like 32. This is probably just a Asian import. Happiness was the label, but it reminded me of Wild Fox. I did a little tinkering there. Let's not talk about that too much, but it was just great. I loved the graphics. It was scarf front, and then the rest was sweatshirt. I think I did that for around 16. It went really, really quick. Let's see. Oh, there's a good one. Guerlain Paris. I think that's how you say that. It's a perfume too, and this was all the perfume bottles. That sold well. That sold quick. I think about $2 or $3. Ivivva. This is the division for youth of Lululemon. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect. I went ahead and put it on auction. It only got one bid. Let it go. I probably made about $11 profit. Just a generic leather vest, but it was from Wilson's Leather. This was good. Ralph Lauren Purple Label. That's good up there in the hierarchy. Purple Label. It was flawed. I paid about $7 or $8 for it, I think. And when I got home, the zipper was flawed. It wouldn't stay. It was at the very bottom, but it had snaps. So this was one where I asked Ronnie Hart his opinion whether it would be worth getting it fixed or not. He was kind of on the fence too, I believe. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to sell it as is. I disclosed. I got $96 for it, and I just, as you can see, I put here flawed zipper, save, and I just built a story. I just built a story. I'm like, I talked about the zipper. It takes a few seconds and attention to get it started, but it also has snaps, so you can use those or just wear it unzipped. And I'm like, I laid on the peer pressure. It still has a Ralph Lauren Purple Label, which will be apparent and very visible because it was. So anyways, I don't know if they're just going to use it as is or get the zipper repaired. Because probably, I don't know, if the zipper wouldn't have been broken, it probably would have been more like $200 to $300 sale eventually. That's very expensive when you get up to the Ralph Lauren Purple Label. Okay, where were we? Not going to do that again. Oh, here's some Lululemon from, these are for men. These are the Kung Fu pants. Kung Fu kind of like sweatpants. the city trek pants or studio pants, those go for more. But sometimes we forget that Lululemon can be found in the men's department. Nothing special. Harley Davidson, some coat shoes. There were a ton of them for sale on Pinterest. I mean on Poshmark and eBay. Probably won't do that again. I love the vintage scarves. I'm always going to do it. I don't care how much I get for them. I'm always going to do it. There was a Harley Davidson shirt from a different country. Another Ralph Lauren polo golf jacket, lightweight. I always add tactical even though it's golf, just to help reach a different audience if needed. Zimmerman, this is a little bit higher end label, but this dress just didn't do so well. I finally gave in and sold it a lot cheaper than that. A lot cheaper. I can't remember exactly, but I want you to know I finally let it go a lot cheaper than that. I'd had it for months and it wasn't the best within that label. A little Lisa Frank copy, but this person is kind of famous. And it's a German puzzle. I've had that for a long time. Fisherman sweater. This was cute. Black sheep. There are a couple more on there. You won't see a lot on eBay. I think I did 38. Very heavy. Oiled wool. Very heavy. Tall girl blazer, Robin jeans. This wasn't an these jeans can go for more. This wasn't an epic style. This wasn't an epic style name or pattern. But they didn't cost very much, so I still picked them up. Gloria Sachs, you can get some good money for some of her vintage stuff. I loved this. It was just Clearwater, which I think you can get like at Steinmart, and I mean, nothing special actually as far as high-end designer. But I held on my price because of the topic. Tiki is a good subculture. They're very serious. So as long as we're not too much of a purist, this would go for them. It was Santa, Christmas, Hawaiian, barbecue, scuba diver, hula dancers. So it was Santa Claus in like Polynesian or Hawaii, you know, summer theme. He's barbecuing, he's scuba diving. Odd Molly. I think that's an Anthro. I think they do some things for Anthro too. That was cute. That sold super quick. Super quick. It was pretty. Velvet burnout. Flocking, if you will. Sometimes it's flocking, sometimes velvet burnout. Black leather skirt, vintage. Alan Edmonds, always good. I loved this. Thank you, Golden Finger Picker. That's who I watch to learn about military items and how to handle those. So I think this was like $5 or $6.99, new with tags. And I looked up what the deal was on that. It was a joint effort from different military branches, some kind of mission that they were on. So that's memorabilia, and some people collect that. I'm not going to do that again. Just some tunics. This was good. Eva Barrow. That's a decent label. You actually find quite a few at the thrift store. Different pieces, dresses, tops, skirts. Vintage Christian Dior. The amount you get for it depends on how cool it is. I liked this one because it's not black and rose, it's navy, and it had anchors, so it was nautical. So I went for the yachting crowd, nautical. So I got full price on that. Bought these because they were very cheap, in great condition, and the huge size. Jill Sander, high-end shoes, clothing. Probably could have got more for these. Got tired of waiting. That's decent enough for me. But Jill Sander, that's a good high-end designer, okay, for clothing. Oh my gosh, I've already bragged about this so much. This was on a mother-daughter sourcing trip up in the mountains. I think Buena Vista. She charges $1 for this vest. Someone bought it full price. I got lots of offers for around 60 to 70 because it's not leather, it's just leather trim. But it had great embroidered patches everywhere. I have never seen anything like this, and I see a lot of Harley stuff. So I held out. Held out for a few more weeks, and it was worth it. Full price, $120 plus $9 shipping. He loved it. Fit Flop. You know him when you see him. It says Fit Flop on it. Real easy to see. Those are always good. I even have a pair of boots. The boots aren't going so well, but the sandals, yes. This is a decent label, Kahala. I've talked about this before within the Hawaiian shirts. Not as good as Raid Spooner unless you happen to find some kind of really epic collab or print, but it's pretty decent. So, you know, we can usually pick up these Hawaiian shirts for, you know, under $4, even cheaper if you're at the bins, right? Or if it's a sale tag. So that's a good one, okay? That right there. Oh, Frank and Eileen, very good. I think I did this for 42. I almost passed it up, but I'm like, wait, this has got too many details on it. It's got a good label. It's making me think Anthropology. Let me check it out. So, and it is a thing. So, Frank and Eileen. Oakley stuff is good. Some things will bring more money. That was quick. Had a little skull, little metal skulls on it. Just real subtle. It actually went to someone right here in Colorado Springs. Prana is a decent athleisure label. It's not as high as Lululemon. I bought those because they were tall, girl. Oh, there's some Wallmaker. There's some Wallmaker right there. That right there. Remember that. If you like to sell the Old West, the reenactment crowd, remember that. That's another one. Besides Frontier Classics, and some of the Scully pieces will go. Double D Ranch. Never pass up Double D Ranch. Anything. Always. Double D Ranch. Anything. White House Black Market. This finally sold. Well, it sold several times, but it was a small. I did keep lowering it because it was a small. It was having a hard time fitting people. And I sold it several times. It would come back. Honestly, it would come back for fit. There was no problems. No one, you know, lied about it. And so I didn't have to pay the shipping. I finally sold it and it stayed well. It went someplace crazy. Some people that own a bunch of restaurant promo places. Oh, I can't remember. I think it's in Chicago. So I think it's going to be part of some kind of theatrical event. So it stayed good. I got this at the bins for maybe $160, $170 because of the weight. It wasn't too heavy for a leather jacket. So I don't love going to the bins. I always say that, but I always have to add, every time I do go, I always find something great. So I'll go about once every couple months. Ralph Lauren Polo. These were interesting because they were embroidered with like pheasant hunting. So that's what happened with those. Here's a Citron Santa Monica piece where it did go for a lower price. It's what I was talking about earlier where I had to do a little repair. So, and it had more signs of wash and wear than I'm usually comfortable with. But because it was Citron Santa Monica, I went ahead and did it. So that's why I sold this one for a little lower. It wasn't as in great condition. But there you go. It can still sell. Ralph Lauren tunic. That was new with tags. Not going to do that again. That did go to Japan, I believe, though. Alfred Shaheen, perhaps? Haven't heard it said. He's famous for making prints back in the day. So these kind of vintage dresses and pieces will sell. Some for more. Again, he was a famous print master anyways when you look it up. So here's some of the keywords I used to try to get that to move along. So that went well because it was one of the viral little theme graphic things. Normally I don't do Gap or Old Navy like that. This is something that's important in my town, Pikes Peak International Hill Climb. Well, it's actually important worldwide because it's international. People come from all over to race up Pikes Peak Mountain, if you can believe that. So I find a lot of this kind of stuff. This was a leftover shirt for the only given to crew people. So that's why that went for $38. Jinko jeans, still a thing. Buy the vintage Jinko jeans. They are going out of business, I believe. Something is going on there. I don't know if they're restructuring or fully going out of business. On their website, they are having a huge sellout sale of their merchandise. So we'll see what happens to them. But any of these vintage skater wide pants, there are about 5 different brands, and I can't think of all of them off the top of my head, but always do these. I sold 2 pair. And I think you might have remembered me hollering at Lindy to get hers listed, and she did sell both of hers fairly well too. CP shades, always do CP shades. This, I mean, it's a good enough skirt. It wasn't like super, you know, jaw-dropping. You still got good money, but there are some things within CP shades that you will get great money. I also sold a caftan from them for about 80 something. Either it's coming up or it was in January where we can't see it. So remember that if you're not familiar. There's the other Jinko. This is good too. This will always sell, Janska, as long as it's in decent condition. It's a real quality, lightweight fleece, and it's it has a following. It has a super following. I always pick it up when I find it. I think I got that in Woodland Park with Karen. There's Lorna Jane. It's about like Lululemon. Australian influence. I don't think it's made there anymore, but Australian designer influence, I believe. I always do velvet burnout stuff. I don't worry about the label. The only reason I worry about the label is if it is a high-end label, I want to put the price up. But even if it's a generic label, you can still flip it pretty quick for some money. Free People, I'm over that unless it's epic. That was not an epic one right there at all. St. John, this one went well. I think I did that for 98. This is an older one too. See that label? Had nice buttons though. There's another Lorna Jane. Disney Little Mermaid dress, extra large. There were a lot of them on there, and some of them were like crazy, let's say affordable. But I'm like, no, mine's an extra large. There's no pilling. It's great. It looks practically new. I'm gonna hold out. I think I did 38 or 42. This was just an unusual piece I liked. Duluth Trading is always pretty much a quick sale. Men's, women's, all kinds of things. Duluth Trading. Oh, here's a good example of how I took this and every other one was so cheap. I think there was even one like $7 or $12. I did an IG story on this whining a little bit. I'm like, no, no, no. This is so cute. So I just priced it how I wanted to. I did not put the brand name in the title, but I put it in the description, the item specifics. And then I just marketed it this way, and it sold fairly quickly for like 3 times what average. So I just counted on better pictures, better listing for that one. Free People, what happened there? Someone bought them and then something went wrong and then they bought them again. I don't know. There's another wall maker shirt. This one you're gonna, if you look at my solds, if you're one of the people that look at my solds, because I'm looking at some of yours to learn, you'll see this shirt go back up and for sale. Okay, he bought it, didn't have PayPal or something, had to do an e-check, something went wrong, messaged me and said, I really want this, I'm so sorry, I will get all this reconciled. So I'm holding it for him and I'm going to relist it here in about 4 days just for him to buy. So this one hasn't sold yet. It will be going back up and the buyer's ready. I hope that goes well. But if not, I'm not worried about it. It's going to sell. It's a wall maker. It's a wall maker reenactment shirt, Western shirt. Just my size. Only if it's something really cool. I'm not really big on that. Anthro brand, Pilcrow. I think I decided to do these because they were, the size was bigger and longer. I think it's why I decided to go ahead and do that. This is a good little shoe label. Not bad. Quality. Oh, this was in the athletic department too. This is like stretch leggings for when you're for equestrian, horse riding, training. It has some patches in certain areas and, you know, engineered for fit. So, but they're leggings. So these are expensive and that's why you can get a little bit more money for these. So there, you might want to remember that. You're not going to find a lot of them, but when you do, pick it up as long as it's in decent condition. There's me and my velvet burnout again. Oh, I bought this with Karin too. I think it was like with the sale, maybe $2.50. So I learned something new about this. I just saw all the epic graphics and spell out. Anytime I see Olympics, you know, that piques my curiosity to take a second look. And so this is a thing, La Martina. So you might, if you're trying to learn like me, you might jot that down and look it up later. That's what I do when I'm watching other people's videos or looking at their solds. I got a bunch of plus size tunics. This went to Korea. Little vintage 90. It was not in great condition at all. That's why I have priced accordingly, and I talked about the flaws. But it was very vintage. So someone, Korea or Japan, he said he was a collector of vintage, of US and UK vintage lingerie. Ralph Lauren polo, new with tags. This was Ralph Lauren polo. Just a little tunic dress, gold lame. I think I paid $4.75 for that. So that was a good flip. Take some off of that. This is me doing it again. If a Hawaiian shirt has pin-up or something really, really cool on it, I do not care if it's from a lower end label. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to take great photos of it. I'm going to use great keywords. I'm going to hit the tiki crowd too. And I'm going to price it up and wait. So I only had to wait a few extra days for this one. I think I left, so again, on purpose, I would leave not put the brand in the title. Just put it in the description though, but not leave it in the title. Hoping that, you know, maybe it shows up someplace else and not along with all the other ones of that brand where sellers are selling them, in my opinion, too cheap, too affordable. Okay. Those were Hannah. She sold those. This is something I thought was cool. I just went out. I think I paid $8 for that. I liked it though because it's not Harley Davidson, but it had a Harley colors. So that's why I have Harley but not Harley Davidson, because that would be wrong. This is a Lafayette 148. Their stuff does well anyways, but then this was, they used Laura Piano fabric, so that made it even better. What I want to say about that, it had a little bit of a fleece feeling to it. I don't think it was fully lined, because really sometimes their stuff will do way better than that. And certainly if you don't know about Laura Piana, the Italian textile makers, please go read that story and learn about that, because they have their own line which is really expensive. I learned this from watching Ronnie Hart over the years. But they also will sell some of their textiles to other makers, which is what they have done here. And so, but when it's pure, or if it's a higher end designer, you're going to get, I've sold one of their jackets for $300. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So if you're not familiar with that, if you're not familiar with Lafayette 148, you want to do that. But if, more importantly, Loro Piana, you want to know all about that. That's some money. So this was custom made by someone who does probably trade shows and sets up at like Renaissance fairs, things like that, a little boutique. So it sold pretty quick after listing it. And that's how I did that. Those are some of the fashion subcultures that I like to market to, that I find fun. Some foreign pants, those sold yesterday. Her name was foreign too, so she probably knows exactly what they are. And then what I sold today. Whew. I wish I could show you some in January. There were some good things in there too. So anyways, that's it for the first quarter. Not too bad. Had some Poshmark sales. Had some sales on the other hard goods store, Plush and Hard Goods. So not too bad. Had some merch t-shirt sales. That's still going relatively well for my tier level and the amount of effort that I put in. So these are the things that I still have for sale now. I still do, like, I still have collections. They unceremoniously dropped collections. I don't think you could add to them anymore, but that's, remember when eBay was trying to do the Pinterest thing a few years ago? So I played along. You know, I'm a team player. So, so that's what that is. And then I do, when I find something really cool, it's usually my office supplies, which I always buy off of eBay. I support eBay. I love my eBay bucks, my rebate. I'll do a good review on things that I totally love. All right, that's all. I'm going to take the rest of the afternoon off. It's a nice day. Maybe Steve and Little Highway will want to go for another walk. I hope you guys have had good sales for first quarter too. I hope you remembered to use your coupon. It's too late if you didn't for your supplies. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.